Hey there TRW crew, Matt Vassallo here with the rhinestoneworld.com. So another video tutorial for the TRW Stone Wizard version 1.01. So get a lot of questions as far as, can I just bring a regular bitmap, JPEG, PNG file into CorelDRAW and then stone it from there? So I brought in a diamond design here. I'm going to show you a couple different options that we have. So let's say we wanted this to be a big diamond on the front of the shirt and we got it about 8 inches. Okay, so we'll have a couple different options here, and I'm going to show you all those different options. So let's go ahead and make a copy of the diamond real quick. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up here, I'm going to go to Trace Bitmap, Centerline Trace, and Line Drawing. And it's going to run through its line drawing, and this is what we're going to get here. I'm going to smooth it out a little bit and hit OK. So here we have our line drawing. And you can see we don't have too many nodes in there, which is good. If you see a ton of nodes in one spot, you may want to edit a little bit. But you'll see that there are little spots where it gets a little crooked, where if you did a trace of this real quick, you would probably get a better outcome. And I'm going to show you that real quick as well. So I'm going to show you 3 different options here. So here's another thing we could do. First thing I like to do is I like to lock the object so it can't move around. And then you can grab any one of your pen tools. I'm just going to grab my basic pen tool here. And you can see if I click, and then I can go up to this corner, click, this corner, click, this corner, click, and here, and here, and here, all the way back down to there. That's connected now. And then what I can do is grab some center line ones here and just go from there to there. And I'm going right off that node from there to there. If I hold shift, it'll draw perfectly straight, there to there, back up to that node to there. And I'm going to do the same thing over here. You can see I have my line there already. So I'm going to finish off this side so I can attach to the node, hold shift, and I go to there. And again, going right off of this node here. And I'm going to go up to here, hit the node, let go. Then I'm going to go from that line to this line. I'm going to go from that line to this line. And then come up here. Let's go all the way down to this bottom node here. And all the way down to this bottom node here again. Okay, so that's more of a manual trace, but I'm going to show you the difference of the two. So see this one and this one, see how much cleaner this one is? So yeah, it took an extra 30 seconds, but on a design like this, it's probably going to stone out a lot nicer. So I'm going to show you the difference of the two as well. And then the third option we have, let's go ahead and unlock this one, is if we want to do a regular, like a clip art trace of it. So I'm going to click on my clip art trace there. It's going to run through this real quick, and there we go. We can smooth it up a little bit if we want to, hit OK. And here's the difference with a clip art is if I go and I ungroup this, see how these are all individual sections now? So all of these little parts are broken up into individual sections, which is good, and I'll show you why that could be good as well, depending on what you're trying to do with your design. So first thing we're going to do is let's stone out this one real quick. So I'm just going to click on it, and actually I'm going to come over here and select my color first. Let's use a, I don't know, blue zircon, and I want SS10s, and go to my place and fill. And the only thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add stones, but I do want to use my corner detect, okay? And then let's bump up my corner detect to about 130 degrees. And we're using SS10s. Click on our design here and add stones to the selected path. So you can see that's what we get there. And the good thing about the corner detect is it's going to hit these corners nice like this, so you aren't having to do a lot of editing in it. So you can see it pretty much hit all these corners here pretty perfectly. A little bit off right there, but your merge overlaps will fix that right away. And then down there you run into a little bit where you're going to have to edit about 2 or 3 stones. Okay, then our other option was right here. And let's go ahead and do the exact same thing and add stones to this path. And now you can see the difference with this one as far as how much cleaner some certain, like on this one here, you can see how it waves a little bit. Well, when we come over here, it's going to hit here in a straight line. Now, the only bad thing about that sometimes can happen is these stones are going to get a little too close together. So you just need to edit those a tiny bit, and that's going to be no problem at all. Again, move that a tiny bit there. Your corner is going to come down looking a lot better here. you're just going to have to merge your overlaps there to get your nice point at the end. So that's pretty cool as far as those two different designs, but you can see the difference if you trace it yourself or you do the single line trace automatically in CorelDRAW. And then our last option over here, let's say we wanted to do a multi-deck design. So let's say we wanted all this black part right here to be a, I don't know, like a hot pink color. And let's just say that's hot pink glitter. And then what we can also do is, let's say we want to do hot pink glitter, and then this inside we want it filled with stones. Okay, so not too hard to do because we have it broken apart like this. So watch what we do here. I'm just going to click on this inside part. Now I want it to offset a little bit to the inside because I don't want it to cover up our glitter. So I'm going to do, if I leave this blank, it's going to go fill all the way to the inside. I have inside selected. I have add stones selected. I want to pick a different color, obviously. Let's go with a peridot. And we're still going to do our corner detect, but we're going to do a contour spacing to the inside of this area. And let's do it, I would say about 0.075. And that should maybe let's try 0.8 and just see what that does. 0.08. So I got it selected. Good, good, good there, good there. Island fill. And that looks pretty sweet right there. See how it's going right along the edges right there? Obviously a little bit of manual editing in the middle there, but pretty cool. So come over to this next one, click there, island fill, beautiful. Click here, island fill, beautiful. So you can see how this is working here because we have this as a vector design, how the island fill is just filling these in nicely with the corner detects. And this will be a pretty cool looking design once we do the little bit of editing on the stones there. So you can see how everything turned out there. I'm going to highlight this entire design. Now if I were to just hit clear pass like this, you can see what happens. Perfect. It keeps the vector there and it keeps our heat transfer vinyl part of it there perfectly and removes all of the inner circles or the inner lines there. So now obviously there's some parts that you aren't going to have to do much changes at all on. And then there's a couple in here that you may have to move over. Now you can see we got our overlaps there. So what I want to do with that is if I highlight the entire design here, and I can go merge overlaps, mark top layer, mark bottom layer. Let's just see what a mark top layer does for us. So I'm marking my top layer overlapped. We already know that it's not overlapping any of the pinks here, which is pretty cool. And it looks like we have about 1,400 stones inside this diamond. So it's got to run through all of these stones and find every single little overlap that's in there. But then the good thing is you're going to know, there we go. So you see a lot of red marks here, but watch what happens. As I pull this out, you can see that it didn't actually pull out all of those stones because of the corner to text, it hits those certain corners, okay? So that's what's very cool about that. And then what we can also do is see how it's selected because we had one spot on here, I'm sure, that was just barely touching the overlap on the diamond part. So if that does happen, what you can do is this. It automatically groups it for you, okay? So what I can do is I can click on that. I'm going to hit ungroup. So now you can see the diamond shape is different. I'm going to click on one of these red stones and I'm going to select same size and color. So now what that does is it keeps your vector design there and we can delete all of those overlaps. Okay, pretty cool. Now we can go back here if we wanted to, change it to pink. And then you just have your little bit of manual editing in there. I mean, that's probably, I don't know, I would say a good 5 minutes worth of editing. Just these little spots, kind of move them around a little bit to fill in those little gaps. But as you can see, if I were to zoom in right here, I'm just going to move these over a tiny bit. There's some spaces, some spots where you'll add an extra one, some spots where you'll take one out, but you can see it's something that's not going to take long at all to be able to fill that in and make it look perfect. But look, out of those 1,400 stones, for you to have to manually edit maybe 30 of them is pretty awesome, to where you could make an awesome design like this with 1,259 stones with the glitter heat transfer vinyl in maybe 5 minutes, 5-10 minutes, let's say, with the editing and everything. So that's how you can create different PNG, JPEG, or bitmap type files into a Rhinestone design with your tracing feature, and then also with your clip art feature to be able to have these inner sections all divided out to be able to do the island fill. So this would be a pretty cool design here with just a huge diamond rock with all the glitter around on the outside there, just to add a different type of contrast to the design, and then a boatload of bling on the inside of there to just jump out. So if we made this let's say we made that bling right there a nice crystal, and then we had this in the pink glitter and it was on the back or on a black shirt, something like that. Let's throw a black background on there and send it back. And as you can see, it's going to have our original white image in there, so we can just click on that. And you just delete those different little spots there. But you can see when these stones start showing through there, how cool it looks as far as the different designs. And the cool thing is we have some awesome upgrades coming out in our next version that we don't want to tell you too much about it right now, because we don't want to spread the news to everybody as far as some awesome upgrades that we have coming. But when you do see them, it's going to add a whole lot to the TRW Stone Wizard. And we already have a ton of functions on the Wizard, but even more and better ones, and we're going to keep upgrading, thinking of new ideas to do, and help you guys out to make some great and awesome designs and make it as easy as possible for you to make those designs. So hope this video helped you out on the TRW Stone Wizard version 1.0 and changing a PNG, JPEG type file into a rhinestone design. So if you do have any questions, make sure to give us a call. Number's 941-755-1696. Again, this is Matt with the rhinestoneworld.com, and you guys all have a great day.